Welcome along, everyone, to round 7 of Tier 1 in LRC. In the commentary booth today is me, Versangen, joined by Daniel. Say hello.
Hi. Hello.
So a bit of a mix-up of the commentary team today, and a bit of a mix-up in the race weekend as well, as we're doing a sprint weekend, I believe. So one shot, short sprint race, then we'll go on to the regular length race. So, okay, here we are, right away. As all of the cars are heading down the pit straight at the exact same time. We are on board with Lrc. That's just who it decided to put me in, so...
Same.
I do not see Lamau today. We could actually have a very interesting race. We're not going to be having one McLaren just running the entire field, so... There we go. Lrc and Cooper fighting for first place. Shadow's getting up there too.
The grid is just moving about like crazy right now.
Starting to stabilize up at the top, though. Cooper keeps dropping positions, so I wonder if he's making any mistakes. No, he's coming back up. But Lrc seems to be pretty stable there in first place.
2 people have DNF'd somehow? I don't know.
Yeah, either crashed or if you invalidate your lap, that's kind of it.
Oh. And we have the cars taking a checkered flag, and no surprise there, Lrc is on pole. As far as I know, because, yep.
Yep, so it's a pole for Lrc going into the sprint race, followed by Shadow and Frosty. Front runners taking the top spots. Seems pretty normal there. And it appears I've been given a pretty awful camera angle as I'm looking at the back of the grid, and I won't be able to see how everyone's starts go.
I am as well.
But the lights are off and we are underway as Lrc seems to be getting a pretty decent start, trying to cover off Shadow, who opts for the outside into turn 1. Will Shadow be able to make a move down there? Not quite, as it looks like one of the Alpines again was pretty slow away from the grid. No yellow flags into turn 1 though, so it looks like everyone's navigated it quite nicely. As we head into turn 2, Lrc is already starting to pull away a bit from Shadow, who is falling into the clutches of Frosty, and we do have a yellow flag. That is one of the Alpha Tauris, Hot Speed.
Oh
and
my God.
Cooper. And who is that? That is Alex in the Alfa Romeo, who has just retired on track. So a bit of a coming together from some midfield cars there. There's a good start from Kvyat Bona, I see, in the Ferrari, who gained 4 places.
What is wrong with my camera? First time penalty going to Iggsy's, but that's probably not the race start he would have wanted.
Yep, more bad luck for Iggsy's, unfortunately. It seems to be coming his way quite a bit as he's lost a bunch of ground in the sprint race already and been given a 5-second penalty.
Lrc on medium tyres, setting the fastest lap of the race, and gradually getting a bit of a gap from Shadow, but that gap has just gone back down again. I reckon we will see a fairly interesting fight between those two in the race and within the sprint.
For sure. Those top 3 already starting to pull away a bit from the rest of the crowd. It's already a 1.6 second gap between Frosty and Kvyat Bona from 3rd and 4th. So, looks like these 3 will be able to keep this sprint race on lockdown. A little bit further back, German beat down in 8th place. That's not quite where I'd expect to see him, and it looks like he's kind of holding up a bunch of the cars behind him.
Does appear to be. Shadow and Lrc getting very close together.
But you do have to be quite a bit faster than the car ahead in order to pass them here. It's a narrow circuit.
This will be fairly interesting.
Oh, and that is...
once
Someone's
DRS gets
gone off.
enabled.
Smully, is that? Yep, in the Williams. Has gone off there. Oh, and one of the Hasses are off. And a Mercedes, it looks like. Oh, Shadow. No, that's Shadow. Shadow spun on the pit straight, it looks like. Yeah, because Frosty's now in second. Just barely missed that. A little slow with my camera controls. But Shadow now finds himself where? P8.
That will be interesting. And as far as I know, Sondre making up 8 places from the start. That is the most
I just see
places.
Cooper going.
Going
Oh, no.
by the way.
See, I'm not a bit slow on the camera controls now. Cooper trying to go around the outside of Seth Martin in the Alpine. Gets himself spun around.
And he is stopped. Does he have damage or?
Oh, it looks like he's just waiting to rejoin the
going
track
on?
safely. There he goes now.
Not the race some people would have wanted.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, this is probably
As
the race that Loris
Cooper,
wanted.
Probably.
Just
And
controlling
the
the
gap between
front.
him and Frosty now 1.3. So he's doing fairly well up front. Cooper, however, dropped down 7 places from the start. And I like trains with now the most. What's the word? Positions gained, as far as I know.
Oh yeah, I was just remarking how I Like Trains didn't have a great one-shot qualifying, but yeah, now he's up into 5th, isn't he?
He is indeed.
I'll tell you what, that is a big line of cars right behind Kvyat Bona. Just waiting to get past him. Oh, I think I just saw a Mercedes go around. It's Shadow again. Shadow has gone around again, finds himself in 11th.
Has he lost his front wing?
Oh, we'll have to see.
Looks like he has.
Wouldn't be too
It
surprised.
looks like he has lost his front wing.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
Oh, he has. That means he will have to probably pit.
And that's not what you want to see in a sprint race.
And the Alpine going fairly slowly.
Oh, here's Kvyat Bona trying to fight for that 3rd position now. Coming under pressure from I Like Trains as they head into turn 2. I Like Trains with the inside. Gets the move done on the Ferrari. Plenty of other cars queuing up behind Kvyat Bona. Riding on board with German Beat now as he gets up behind the Ferrari. Oh, and it's a tap from German Beat that sends Kvyat Bona around.
Oh. Oh, wow, my God.
And as Kvyat hit someone else.
Oh.
Iggy's. More bad luck for Iggy's.
Has now been taken out of the session by Kvyat.
Yep, completely out of the session. Kvyat with a drive-through penalty.
A safety car.
Oh, full safety car, yeah. Yep, I see it.
It's still saying I've only got yellow flags in sector 1, 2, and 3, but the safety car is out.
Oh, full course yellow, yep. Well, alright, we've got a bit of time to take a breather here then. Halfway through the sprint race.
Will that allow the pack to get closer together as we head into lap 6 of the sprint race? And Maurice, I don't think would be too happy, nor Iggy's, as he may have felt that, what's his name, Kvyat should have been waiting before he came back on the grid. However, many cars taking the advantage of the safety car and pitting for new tyres.
Oh, do we have some pit takers? Well, I'm assuming Kvyat might have had damage. Seth Martin is changing his front wing. I can see Jarman in the Red Bull. That is new softs. Okay, so it is new softs for Jarman. So probably no damage for him. I think those softs could make the distance for sure. Oh, Jorkata also opting for softs.
Indeed.
So we could have some fast people stuck in the midfield who are going to be looking to get around some slower medium tire runners. Lrc and Frosty had built quite the gap over the rest of the field, though. That is all gone now, unfortunately for them. I'm sure the rest of the field will be feeling pretty racy to get past them. I Like Trains up into 3rd place. Very good sprint race for him so far.
I thought you were just saying randomly I Like Trains for a second, but then I realised somebody in the lobby was called I Like Trains. Why is he stopped? Kvyat is stopped on track for some reason.
What's going on with him?
Why has he done that?
That is a good question.
He's still just sat there.
Okay, he's waited for the rest of the field to go past him.
Why has he done that then? Is it because he has a time penalty and probably knows he's done that anyway, or?
Well, he has a drive-through penalty, so that'll need to be served yet.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't know why he would wait for the rest of the field to go past, though.
If I were him, I would have served it under a safety car. Does it count under a safety car?
No, I don't think you can do that under safety car.
Oh. Well then. Lrc was building up quite a bit of a gap until Iggy's crashed into Kvyat, who was coming on the track after having been spun, was it?
Yep, after having been spun, Kvyat Bona probably just spinning across the track and Iggy's not having anywhere to go. I didn't quite see it.
A tap.
I'm seeing in Twitch chat technical issues for Kvyat Bona, his pedals. So just pulling over to the side of the track and getting everything sorted there.
Sorting that out. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So, when will Lrc want to get everyone underway?
Alright, safety car is going in. Lrc just bunching up the rest of the field. Smully in the back, unfortunately, not quite up with the rest of the field yet. Took a late pit stop. As we see Lrc going very early in the penultimate corner. As they go down the pit straight now, so up to full racing speed now. Looks like that could have caught a couple people off guard. Frosty certainly too far back to make a move for first. I see Max Khan going down the inside of turn 1 on Sandre and makes that move stick for P6, and Sandre losing out once again to Jorkata on those new soft tires. So not a very good restart for the Alpine driver. But Lrc just holding the lead.
His gap up a bit again.
Yep. Just keeping that lead. One of the yellow flag. Bablo is around once again.
Has spun out. Is that because he's on new mediums and hasn't quite won them up yet, or maybe he took the curb a bit? Who knows?
Oh, and here's the fight for 3rd place now. I Like Trains and German Beat. German Beat just getting past I Like Trains right as I switch the camera. So German Beat finds himself up into 3rd. He'll be closing up on Frosty for sure. And one of the... Oh, it's Smully again off the track. Oh, just...
Spun, and he almost...
just misses Bablo. Wow.
Bablo there. That was awfully close.
Certainly was. Everything just a little bit settled. I think Max Khan and Jorkata fighting it out now. Remember, Jorkata with new soft tires. Does a little bit of a switcheroo there, but doesn't quite get the position. Yeah, Jorkado with a time penalty, though. He'll be wanting to get as much distance as he can then. He wants that penalty to amount to
Or
as
just
little
push up the
as
grids.
possible. Uh-huh.
Right then, Frosty has built up a bit of a gap from German beat in third, and Bablo now gets a 3-second time penalty or multiple warnings.
Yeah, we're seeing these two just build that gap up once again, Lrc and Frosty. Shadow was with them at the beginning of the sprint race, but unfortunately finds himself out now.
How did Shadow get out then?
Shadow spun a couple times.
Was
I'm
just
assuming
an
he
alpha
retired
just-
rather than crashed out.
The Alpha has just decided it wants to have a little stop on the track. I don't know what's going on with this Alfa Romeo and the Williams.
Yep,
Of
Smully and
Smully
Bablo
has
just
spun.
seeing who can spin the most during the sprint race.
You keeping count? Who's winning?
Oh, I think I've lost count already.
Right then, Frosty getting a bit closer to Reese in first with, I believe, 3 laps to go
Yep, just about.
of the sprint race.
I've seen Frosty get close a couple times, but hasn't really been able to make
You
a
said there was
move
only
yet.
one DRS zone in this. There's 2.
Are there two?
Yeah.
Oh, going down
One
into
down the main
the...
straight,
Yeah,
and then
no, you're
one
right. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
just outside of turn 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I think it's all counted as one DRS zone technically for some reason. Oh, Max Khan getting racy with Kimmy here. Looking for P5 as he heads down the inside of the track into turn 1. Gets that position, and Jorkada, I think, trying to follow him through. Also trying to get Kimmy here. Is he going to be trying around the outside in turn 2? Yes, he is, and just turns the Aston Martin. So more contact there into turn 2. Stewards will have to be having a look at that. Kimmy was having a great sprint race, too. Very unfortunate to see.
He was indeed.
Back at the front of the field, I'm surprised how much ground German beat is actually made up on Lrc and Frosty. There's, well, only going to be 1 lap left to go here as they finish up in Sector 3. Don't know if he'll be able to make any moves there, but his pace is looking very good.
Does appear to be. Whew. You get points in the sprint race, don't you?
Top 8 finishers, yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, could
Yellow
that possibly
in
be
sector
another
2. Is
spin
that
for
Smully
Smully?
again?
Wow, surely he's taking the lead
Is
of the
it?
spin count. Alright, final
Right
lap
then.
of the sprint race now. Frosty with DRS on Lrc. Is he going to be trying to make any moves here? Too far back into turn 1 for sure.
Does appear to be.
It's going to be right up behind him going down into turn 2 into the second DRS zone there. But still looking a bit far
Not
back.
yet.
Certainly too far for a lunge.
This battle could be looking very interesting heading into the race, though.
Oh, for sure.
And Smully has decided he wants to DNF.
Looks like everything's kind of settled down here on the final lap of the race. Oh,
Frosty
someone's
with a
going around.
3-second
Jorkada's going
time
around.
penalty.
Just caught that on the track map. Jorkada goes around right before the chicane there, so was making up some pretty decent ground on the new soft tires, but unfortunately has just thrown it away, as well as his front wing. So he's going to be fighting tooth and nail to keep as many positions as he can through the final lap. But further up the field, they're going to be rounding just one more corner before the checkered flag. Will anybody be making any moves? German beat with a very late lunge on Frosty, which sends Frosty around on the final corner on the last lap of the
that's gonna
sprint.
have to be looked.
That
That's
is...
got to be looked at.
Frosty will be beside himself after that. German Beat does end up finishing second, but I have a feeling... he's going to be getting a penalty for that one. As we were waiting for all of the cars to finish the line there. There we go, Baba finally does it. And that concludes our sprint race. So Lrc, with some pretty good pace there, takes the win. Followed by German B, and then I didn't actually see who came third in that whole scenario. I think that was probably I Like Trains. It was! So a very good sprint race for I Like Trains.
Indeed it is. Both Kimmy and Frosty not too happy about them.
Yep.
Their spins.
Both getting involved in some incidents there. Kvyat Bona also getting involved. Iggy's with more bad luck. I think he found himself out of the session. Alright. Lrc on pole once again for the feature race here in Hungary. The lights are out and Lrc gets them underway. So it's kind of a bad start from German Beat, it looks like, as he's already getting swallowed up by both Maxcon and I Like Trains. So definitely a bad start for the Alfa Romeo driver as Lrc defends the inside going into turn 1. Maxcon all the way up into P2 already. And in fact, challenging his teammate. So it's already a Haas 1-2 from the start.
Oh.
Lrc leads from Maxcon, and who's that in the back? Smully and Iggy's might have just gotten together. I saw that yellow flag pop up.
Seth Martin with his first race with Lrc in 6th. So if he manages to keep that position, he might be a bit...
Shadow's gone around.
And I think Shadow
Yep.
with the spin.
He has been showing very good pace all weekend, but already finds himself in last.
And Alex going down the inside of Kimmy, and he gets that one done fairly easily. Kimmy, though, dropping down a lot of places after the spin he had.
Oh yeah, Kimmy
Zakata.
way down in 14th already.
And Alex going around the outside of Kvyat. Will he be able to stick this place?
I see a yellow flag.
Get this place stuck
here.
heading into the final corner. He has. SH2 Alex putting his Alfa Romeo up into 11th. And will he be able to looking around at his teammate around the outside, and they think they touched. And Seth Martin, I think, has also spun now as well. And Shadow going fairly slowly. Ow, what happened with Lrc then?
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking up further up the field, Lrc finds himself in P3.
Overtook. Alex looking down the inside of Jarmin in the Red Bull.
Oh, they're going to be going wheel to wheel. A little bit of contact made, I think. But it's just side to side.
Overtake.
Oh, it was a Williams, went around right in shot. So Cooper and Smully. Oh, wow. That was very close.
Touched the Mercedes of Shadow, it must have been, considering the other Mercedes is in 4th. SH2 Alex though, having a fairly decent race so far, as he makes up 9 places. Kimmy slowly going back up the grid as he now.
One of the Alpines is going around, that's Andre.
His original 14. But I'm convinced that the places he is making up is just from spins. Alex is looking fairly faster than his teammate here as they head into the chicane.
How did Babla find himself all the way up in 7th? I don't know how that
Probably
happened, but good on him, I
probably by
suppose.
spins, but he was one of the cars that DNF'd, I swear.
Uh,
Oh, and
not
Alex
quite,
going round
but
the outside, inside
I don't think Pablo was
of
fighting that one
one
very
of the
much.
few turns. Could
Get
that have been
Smolly out
team
of the
orders then,
race.
or?
One of the front runners. Oh, German Beat's going around on the final corner. So German Beat, who was holding off Loris in second place, finding himself all the way
We
down
have
in
our
ninth
first.
now.
We have the first DNF of the race so far. And that is of
Smolly
Smully
DNFing.
and Kimmy heading into for what might be a forced pit stop because of
Yep, I
damage
see a
or
front wing change.
yeah,
So damage for Kimmy, really
does
unfortunate
appear to
race.
be.
Oh, and Loris has
Another
actually
front
lost a
wing
second
app.
position now to I Like Trains. So I Like Trains all the way up in second now, replacing German Beat.
That happened a while ago, did you not realise?
Well, it was German Beat for the longest time, and then he went around. It was Haas 1-2 for
Oh yeah.
just a quick
Oh, yeah,
second.
that's it.
But Max Khan,
Sondre.
over a 3-second gap
Sondre.
now, over second.
Sondre with the most places decreased as he's gone down 10th. But Alex having a lovely race as he makes up 12 places.
Frosty and Jorkado just going wheel to wheel there for a second in the final sector.
It does look like Alex is catching the McLaren.
Frosty making up quite a few positions for sure. Oh, as Iggy's is
For
now fighting
to
Bablo
be
for
precise.
7th place. There we go, makes a move down the inside of turn 1. But yeah, Frosty, who had a bit of a spin there at the end of the sprint race, finds himself all the way up in 5th now. So good recovery drive from him so far. Max
Ooh,
Khan with a
and
3-second penalty
Max
from
Con.
first. Not what you want when you're leading, for sure.
And he did originally have a 3-second gap, but that has now gone down to a 2.454. And is Alex gaining on Frosty, and we have a yellow flag in sector 2.
That looks like the Alpine of Seth Martin.
Does appear to be.
Could be all okay, though. Seeing this quite a bit. Everyone's just queuing up right behind one of the drivers in front of them, with a big old train behind them, and not quite much anyone in the back can do about it.
Unless I make a dive bomb down into turn 1, but I doubt we'll see that. Alex.
Oh, speaking of dive bombs down into turn 1, German beating Bablo going wheel to wheel, and Bablo
I just seem
losing
to
out
be
there.
calling a lot of things today. Which may not be good. However, Alex slowly losing time on Frosty.
Yep, front runners
In the
building that gap as we
McLaren.
saw in the sprint race.
And Sondra with the fastest lap of the race so far. Down in 15th. No clue how that's happened. Maybe he's just got a bit of clean air in front of him. No cars ahead. So
Shadow getting very close to Kvyat Bona. Certainly faster than the Ferrari, but just can't find a way to get his Mercedes around. Oh, is he going to try here around the outside of the right-hander? I think he's actually got it done. He does, so up to 11th for Shadow. We'll be looking to recover after a pretty awful sprint race.
And Frosty with the DRS, I think, can't quite get past Ricotta within this DRS zone. What about the second activated and rear wing is wide open, but Jacotta also with the DRS. So that might just make the battle a bit harder for Frosty.
Yep. We have a DRS train forming though. MaxCon's lead has gone from just over 3 seconds to under 1 second. So
Is that old tyres possibly losing
could
grip?
be he's running on softs. Let's get the tire graphic up here. So those soft tires may be at the end of their life already. I Like Trains is certainly making inroads on them.
Jakarta putting a bit of pressure on the Haas. Will he be looking for a move down the main straight with the incredibly long DRS zone of that straight? Goes basically from start to finish. Then, here we go. Could Jakarta be looking at a move on Lrc, who was our race leader?
Oh, I'll tell you, he was looking for a move. I Like Trains looking for a move for first place already. Can't quite make it work around the
And he
outside of
goes a
turn
bit
1.
wide, which allows the Haas of Lrc to get in on the battle. And we have a possible 5 four-way battle for first at the minute.
Indeed.
With Jakarta gaining on the Haas of Lrc. Could he be looking at a move soon enough into the chicane? Not into that.
MaxCon's
However,
tires definitely
Jakarta,
going off now.
yeah,
Everyone's
they've got to
very
be.
close behind him. And in fact, Alex has actually made up quite a bit of time on Frosty as well. That gap is under a second now. So
I Like Trains
MaxCon holding
possibly
everyone up.
looking. Oh, and that was. Look, I thought he was going
Yeah,
to
I
go
Like
down
Trains will
the
be
outside.
desperate to release himself from behind MaxCon.
Right then, with the DRS, could I Like Trains get this move done down the main straight?
Oh, he's going to dive down
Maxcom
the
takes
inside
him
at the
towards the
last
outside
second.
as he takes him.
Oh, I
And
think
that
they just
is.
barely avoid contact. As we come out of turn 1, I Like Trains
I
is in
Like
first.
Trains.
Oh, but
Not
just
for long
barely.
though, as Maxcon goes round the inside of. Oh, Jesus. Lrc now
While those
making a
two were
move
fighting
around
each other,
2 people.
Loris picks
I
them
think
both
it was.
off. Yeah. Saw those with
That's
the
a here
Alpines
goes
fighting each
Hamilton
other
moment, that.
in the real Hungary race when Ricardo made it through. So Loris now
But
releasing himself from
Hamilton.
behind MaxCon.
Oh, and
Oh,
Frosty
Frosty's
has
around.
spun.
Yep. Oh, and he's just drove straight into the wall. I saw some bodywork fly off, and in fact, that was the entire front wing. I think that
Was
was a
that
bit of
actually?
an unforced error from Frosty. Now in 12th doesn't have a front wing and is going straight on in the chicane.
Oh,
Alright,
lovely.
I'd like to see further up. I Like Trains and Alex fighting for third place. I think there's just a bit of contact there.
Alex having a lovely race, making up 15 places
Mm-hmm. Finds himself in third.
on that hard stock compound tyre.
I Like Trains went
He
from...
has now got the DRS on Maxcon.
I Like Trains going from fighting for first
But Max,
position in turn 1 last lap to now losing out to Alex. Sees himself in fourth.
Maxcon looking at overtaking his Haas teammate Lrc.
Oh, here's another move for
While
position
Alex
further
is
down the
getting very
field.
close to that Haas.
On Pablo.
Indeed. Incredibly close to that Haas, actually. A lovely exit, heading down towards the chicane. You've got to be some brave guy to make a move into a chicane, though.
Yeah, it's not the easiest place to make a move. Tell you what, MaxCon's tires, as we said, have been going off. Everyone's queuing up behind him. But he's definitely defending quite beautifully for what it's worth.
Oh, maybe not, as Alex looking down towards the inside
That might have been a bit of an aggressive defense there
of
from
Maxcon.
MaxCon. But he does keep the spot.
They are very, very close, them two.
Oh, and MaxCon
Maxcon
finally pits.
heads into the pits. And we have a yellow flag in sector 2. And that is the Alpine of Sondra.
I think he's beached the car. Yep, he has. He has beached the.
It
Oh,
does
safety
appear to
car.
be, and there is a safety car.
Well, isn't that something? So, let's see here.
Just as Maxcon decides to pit as well, the safety car has come out. And Sondre has been DNF'd for parking in a dangerous location, but I don't
Well,
think
I
he
don't
can
think
help
he had
it,
much of a choice on that one.
as
Could have
he
been.
has beached the car.
Yeah, unfortunate DNF there. So, Loris once
However,
again finding himself in first place. Will we see any? I'm thinking the medium tire runners might be wanting to make a pit stop now, go on to the hards for the end of the race. Could be a bit early for that, but not impossible. Oh, and Cooper has spun it under the safety car. As I believe he was trying to go into the pit lane. I can't comment on that very much. I did the same thing in Baku.
oh, we love to see it.
Oh, yep, Loris pits. Loris pits. So I was expecting some medium runners to go in, but Loris starting on the hards actually going in now. Surely he doesn't think a set of mediums could last to the end of the race.
No, maybe he's going on a fresh set of hards.
Yeah, it could be a fresh set of hards and then some softs for the end of the race, maybe? No, it's mediums.
Oh,
So that has to be a two-stopper then. I can't see a set of medium tires going for the rest of the distance.
unless of course he does
Does some
HQ
insane tire
Alex
management, yeah.
having possibly one of the best races I've seen since Canada with aeronauts in tier 2.
So with all the pit stops, Alex leads for Alfa Romeo. Jarman finds himself in second with Red Bull. Loris only down into third, pinning under the safety car. Keeps plenty of positions for himself. I like trains just behind Loris, as we saw. So a lot of new hard tires I'm seeing. I think a lot of people were starting on the mediums, so plenty of people adopting the hards now. I really need to see how the tire strategy works out for Loris. It's already been quite the interesting race so far, as we see ourselves with our first safety car.
Not the first one of the sessions though, as we did have one in the sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, however, making up 17 places and putting his car into first.
Yeah. No pit stop yet from the top two, so they'll still be having to take their pit stop, but it is a very good position to be in for them.
Will be fairly under pressure from the cars that are on the fresh tyres. Frosty with a 3-second time penalty. Frosty was in third at one point, he's now dropped into 14th.
Uh-huh, he had that one spin and I guess he just never recovered. 14th seems awfully low though. I wonder if he had another spin I didn't quite catch. There we go,
Safety car
safety cars coming in.
is coming in at the end of this lap. When will Alex want to get the pack underway? Will it be within the last turn like Lrc did in the sprint, or will it be when they get to the line and possibly give Jarman the opportunity to get a slipstream?
Well, I think he's going just out of the corner.
It does appear to be now.
And immediately a blue
And
flag
the green
for the
flag and racing
Ferrari.
underway.
As we see, they're three
And
wide going into turn one. That can't end well, and I think it actually does. Great racing from all of them.
Lrc back up to
second, yep.
but under pressure from the Red Bull. Lrc though. Alex is on old tyres and is gaining quite a bit of a gap between him and Lrc.
Yep, but as we saw Lrc with new mediums, he'll be closing that gap up pretty quickly, I would assume. As indeed, Lrc already pulling away from Jarman.
I can actually say, as a fact, that Lrc is on Alex is on 13 lap old hards.
So same tires he started on. Train's just going down the inside of Jarman. These two going wheel to wheel. And I think Trains is going to be getting that position in the final corner here as he takes the inside. Oh no, they're still side by side as they go down the main straight. Trains will have to do it into turn one.
Who's going to come out on top? Max looking at a move, but is under pressure from the Red Bull of Igzy. There's 4 abreast coming into turn one. How has this happened then?
So Trains dispatching Jarman now. Oh, MaxCon just loses it there. Hits the wall, definitely loses his end plate there. All the way down into 12th as I was just switching to him. So.
And him and Timmy, I think, have touched.
Yeah. Oh, as they're trying to go side by side through the chicane there.
Oh, and Kimmy is forced over the chicane.
MaxCon just a bit desperate to keep all those positions. Oh, does Kimmy have damage now as he's a bit wide and slows up a little bit? Just, really unfortunate race for Kimmy.
Does appear to be. However, he is looking down the outside of that Haas as DRS is now enabled. But the Haas pits.
Yep, so MaxCon with some front wing damage pits. His teammate Lrc just takes the lead of the race going into turn one. Already quite the gap forming between the top two, and Trains down in third. So Jarman on those old hard tires just not really able to keep pace with everyone who pitted, not surprisingly.
We have a yellow flag in sector 1, and I think that's Seth Martin who would have spun.
Oh, and has German beat gone around? He has. So it's been not a great weekend for German beat either, as he just barely keeps it from getting beached on the curbs. That sees him in 14th. Certainly a wretched day for the Aston Martin team. So really now everyone behind Igzy's and Jarman, these Red Bull pair, will just be looking to get past the old hard tire runners and be looking to release themselves. There's a really big train forming up behind them. But Shadow makes it past
Oh,
Jarman finally, so he'll be
Max one, I
released.
think, spun. I think I just saw him off the track as I went past him on my camera. Alex, having been overtaken by Lrc, is not letting him get out of his sight, which is fair enough on him.
Yeah, actually doing a very good job given that he's still on the same tires he started on to keep pace with Lrc on a softer compound
Could
and a
he be
newer
looking at a
compound.
one stop then?
He's probably just on his original strategy of switching to the hards, or switching to the mediums. But I'm
Will
surprised
he
on how
pit
well
this
those
lap?
tires are hanging on for
Oh,
him.
he's still not pitting. 16 lap old hards and he's still not pit.
Oh,
You know
and
what?
someone's just
Fair
gone
enough
around.
then.
Oh, that's a big crash there. Frosty involved. I think that was Jarman and Boblo. And oh no. So, oh goodness, how do I even call that? So I think it was Jarman and Boblo just making contact. Frosty had to check up and got hit from
Jesus
behind into the
Christ!
wall. And as everyone else was
What
checking
is
up, I
this?
think
What is going on?
one of the Ferraris had hit. Oh, and both Aston Martins without a front wing. German Beat is retired. Oh, German Beat's completely
German
retired.
is
Yeah,
retired.
suspension damage. And Kimmy having to go across the curbs into the pit lane. Surely we're under safety car. We are. Cooper with a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So everyone just checking up behind the spinning Red Bull. And everyone quite
What the?
unsighted around that blind corner. So, oh,
What the
Frosty
hell has just
retiring now.
happened?
Has Frosty hit the safety car? I see he's retired and he's hit the safety car.
Yeah, actually.
The safety car is stationary. Here, who's the Ferrari? On board with Cooper, we'll see it again. Frosty has hit the safety car. The safety car is stopped on track. And Frosty is out of the race. The safety car safety car must be waiting for Lrc. That's why it's not moving. Surely it's just waiting for the leaders. I don't think the safety car can brake like that.
Yeah, no
It's just
way.
waiting, but somehow Frosty hit it.
Oh, well, we have 4 DNFs now. After a fairly interesting lap 18.
Indeed.
We'll call it lap 18,
This
or
is,
it may have been 17.
let's. Okay, safety
very
car is
late
moving.
pit
There we
stop, I
go. So it's
think.
not bugged or anything. That's good.
Alex has served his time penalty during his
Yes,
pit stop.
this is going to be perfect for Alex. So Alex only making that one stop he needs. Probably be able to make it to the end on those medium tires. 7-lap fresher tires than Lrc has. Able to pit under the safety car. Doesn't lose as much time. This is playing right into his hands. He'll just have to keep it clean as he picks his way through the rest of the field in front of him. Boy, oh boy.
Ooh, I've got a bit of an itchy ear. Lrc back as the race leader though.
Yep.
I like trains and Igsies on a 3-second time penalty as long with Lrc though, so we'll see how long this safety car lasts and then we'll hopefully get underway shortly.
Yep, just a few stragglers there in the back. Probably just pitted for some new tires. Yep, Cooper opting for the soft tires. Interesting choice. Might as well gamble if you're in the back of the field.
I also believe he's a lap down.
Yeah, he's looking to be in the middle of the pack on the track, but he is in last place. Alright, so as we prepare to go back racing here in a couple laps. What do we think we're gonna see? So Lrc in the lead, medium tires. They're gonna be old. The safety car is gonna help him out a lot, but are those medium tires gonna be able to make it to the end? What do you think?
Who you on about?
Lrc in the
Oh.
in first place. 8-lap old medium tires, so the safety car is going to be helping him out with some tire wear, but it is still quite a distance for mediums to go, I would say.
16 laps, I think.
And he's already done 8.
I don't know how long the mediums are supposed to be lasting. So
Yeah, it just seems a bit long to me. Plenty of the cars behind him are on similarly aged hard tires. So I think Lrc is going to be falling to them at some point near the end of the race. But safety car is in this lap. Lrc leads the field through the penultimate corner. I think Kimmy's heading off there. He's all good. All right, he'll have to defend this with all his might.
Want to get the pack back underway right now, apparently.
Yep, everyone opting to do it right out of the final corner. I think Alec Trains was ready for that one.
We head back into racing.
Already with a slipstream. Is he going to dive for it?
In
Nope.
Hungary. And Seth Martin
has retired on the pit straight. Has he been hit? Didn't quite catch it. Oh, one of the Red Bulls is off. Iggy's is off. Unfortunate for him. Just can't catch a break. But Laura's still able to hold on to first place there from I Like Trains. It's right behind him.
Has Lrc pit yet?
He has. So he started on hards, and then first safety car he pitted for mediums.
Ah, okay.
Staying pretty calm here for the most part with this restart, but I think... Okay, Alex and Hot Speed going wheel to wheel. Alex with new medium tires, everyone in front of him with older, harder tires, so he will be desperate to get himself past them. As indeed, he's side by side going... Yep, no DRS quite yet, he'll just have to rely on the slipstream. Oh, he's going to be looking down the inside for sure. And a nice clean pass for Alex.
Alex is having a lovely race.
He most certainly is. Further up the field, Lrc is actually doing pretty well to create a gap between him and I Like Trains in second. And there's a bit of a gap behind them as well to Kvyat Bona, as he just runs a little bit wide, does Kvyat Bona, and I think Alex will be right on his tail. So is this going to be another pass for position for Alex? Goes around the outside. Doesn't quite make it there, but he's got the inside line for the next corner, and I think he's got this one. Maybe not. Kvyat just staying side by side as the inside then turns to the outside for the next corner. They're still side by side, are Alex and Kvyat, as they head down the pit straight. So who's going to be able to...
Still side by side.
Yep. Oh, and I think Kvyat just messes up his braking a little bit. What in the world happened there? Did he lock up for chance? I might have seen a little bit of tire smoke there, but at the very least, Alex finds himself up into fourth place already.
Alex could be looking at a podium here in Hungary.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't doubt it.
And we have had a bit of a shocking 5 DNFs in this race.
Yeah.
Off most of them, I'd say about 3 of them off of what happens in lap 17.
Yeah.
Which,
Just watching Pablo now. He's got quite a few cars up behind him. Doubt he'll be able to hold them off for very
Alex with the
long.
fastest lap.
Yep, he's certainly flying on those new mediums, already within a second of Jorkada. Jarman makes a move on Pablo into turn 1, goes side by side, a little bit of contact. I think we're all good. Jarman's going to be having that position done and dusted into turn 2.
We have a yellow in sector 3.
I think Kvyat is retiring in the pit lane. That makes a yellow flag right outside the pit lane there, so not quite sure what happened with Kvyat Bona going into turn 1 there. Kvyat? Is that true? I'm seeing in Twitch chat, Kvyat Bona's monitor fell.
Oh!
So,
Oh!
that would certainly make him miss his breaking point, I would assume.
Probably, but
He's having quite a day of it. Some technical issues with his pedals. Now his monitor falls over. Alex makes a move on Jorkada for 3rd place, so running in the podium positions now.
are you able to just give me 1 second, please? Because, yeah, I will be back in a minute. Just give me 1 second, please.
Not a problem. Alex already very close to I Like Trains. Could he even be on for a win? Well, is he within 3 seconds? If not, he's quite close. Oh, yes, he most certainly is. So if he can get past I Like Trains, Alex could be on for a win. Outright. Cooper is making a yellow flag there in turn 1. I think that's some bodywork there on the track, and indeed, he's missing his end plate there. So front wing damage there for Cooper. I think he's already lapped down already, so certainly not a good race for him. Alex just keeping really close to I Like Trains there.
But
Welcome back. So as I was saying before, Alex, if he can get past I Like Trains, which it looks like he's going to right now, sends it down the inside, and it's another very clean, beautiful pass for Alex. And he is within 3 seconds, so he is pretty much in the lead with that 3-second penalty for Lrc.
and who's in the lead? Alex.
Yep, within 3 seconds of Lrc, who has a 3-second penalty. I guess it does depend on whether or not that'll be removed by the stewards at the end. I'm not sure what that 3-second penalty is for. It's quite possible it's for something stupid, but
I'm convinced it was for multiple warnings.
yeah, so I would assume that 3-second penalty is going to stick. I see his light flashing though, Alex, so he's been using a lot of ERS to get past all these cars. And Cooper retires from the session as well, so it's a double DNF for Ferrari. Quite a race of attrition now. What does that bring? Is that 6 retirements now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 retirements so far.
Oh, Jesus.
And Shadow, unfortunately, finding himself in the only position that doesn't pay out any points in 11th.
Ah, Shadow. But Iggy's has a time penalty.
Oh, that is true. Yep, so Shadow will probably be getting that 10th position.
3 seconds. So
Alex will probably be getting that first position on track, though, as he's very close to Lrc. Is he going to be making a move down into turn 1?
Might not even
think so.
need to rely on that time penalty for a first, as he makes a move down the inside of Lrc. And is now in first, I believe.
Lrc might try to fight this back into turn 2, but yep, Alex is just a bit faster with that DRS, so first place for the Alfa Romeo driver. Very nice.
A lovely, lovely race.
And he's just got to keep it clean for the remaining 5 or so laps. 8. There we go. A little further down the field, I'm seeing Jorkada's very close to I Like Trains. Usually quite difficult to get a pass done around the Hungaroring, but I Like Trains looking a little low on ERS. Jorkada not with much more, though. We'll have to see if there's any moves made into turn 1. Jorkada just a little bit too far back there. I will say
Alex, now with a 2-second gap from Lrc, I believe Alex is going to win the race.
Yep, as long as he keeps it clean, there's probably not going to be anyone able to challenge him for that.
He has gained 17 places.
Shown quite a good amount of pace, clean overtakes, great strategy. Overall, very good race for Alex.
Look forward to hopefully seeing him in the interview room after the race.
Yeah, I hope so. This is his first race for LRC,
Right
right?
then. I don't know. I don't really focus on Tier 1.
Yeah,
So I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna say, I don't remember seeing that name. So I would think so, but not certain. Everything's kind of settled down here around the Hungaroring. A couple people are close to each other, but nobody keen to make any late dive bombs or anything.
Not as of yet.
Granted, there are 8 fewer cars on track than there were before. Just watching some of these groups form up. There's a group right behind Lrc. That's with I Like Trains and Jorkada just hanging out there in the top places. And further behind them, we have the other half of Max Khan leading Hot Speed and Jarman, who are right behind him. And then Kimmy up in 8th place with Pablo and Igzis right there. Shadow, I believe, must have made a mistake at some point because he has a 5-second gap to Igzis.
Ooh. This is probably the fewest people I've ever seen go around a Grand Prix track in my life. 11 people on the grid. 17 started.
Oh, and here's a move. Finally, Iggy's on the inside of Pablo into turn 1. Does he make the move stick? Yes, he does. Iggy's finds himself up into 9th. Will Pablo be able to fight that one back into turn 2? Not quite. Pablo is still staying very close, though. Maybe a bit of an unorthodox move into one of the other corners, perhaps.
It does appear to be that Alex will win the Grand Prix with 5 laps to go.
Just setting the fastest lap for good measure. He could be getting a full 26
4
points.
laps to go. I don't know.
There's a lock up there for Bablo as I was riding on board.
A 6-second gap between
Ooh, is
him and Maurice.
Maxcon about to lose a position to Hot Speed? Hot Speed goes around the outside of turn 1. Going to be side by side as they head down the second DRS straight into turn 2. Hot Speed's going to have that inside though. And as they come out from turn 2, they're still side by side. Maxcon defending for his whole life and just loses out. And Jarman also makes it past MaxCon, so MaxCon losing out to both of the cars that were sat up behind him. Both are
Just
now
been
released.
told that Seth Martin has decided he wants to leave the server after his first race.
Well, isn't that unfortunate?
It is just a tad, but you know, it's life. Life doesn't always go your way. If you can't deal with it, just don't live. That sounds a bit rude.
That's maybe a bit much, but we're seeing Jorkata and I Like Trains still sat behind Loris here. Just saw Loris weaving to break the toe there down the main straight. Ooh, I think these two are getting quite close together. Jarman and Hot Speed going side by side into turn 1. Jarman with the inside. Gets that position. Ooh, but is there going to be a bit of a switchback? Not quite. Hot Speed can't quite make it work, so Jarman up into P5 now. Oh, and I Like Trains very close to Loris as well. Close battles all around.
And the 3-second time penalty for Bablo.
Oh, that is worth mentioning. Bablo is in 10th place with Shadow just within 6 seconds.
Oh, it's 6 seconds. Oh.
Well, 2 3-second penalties. He already had 3, so Shadow might be looking for at least 1 point in this race. Look at that gap, though. Almost 11 seconds between first and second place. Oh, and I think Shadow smelled a bit of blood, decided to push a little bit harder, gets a 3-second penalty for his troubles. Side by side now, or just for a second they were, I Like Trains and Loris. I think these two are going to be desperate to get past the Haas as the tires start to go away. Those are some very old medium tires that Loris is on. Only 2 more laps, those have to hold on, but he's going to be having to defend for all it's worth.
Is that why he's decided to gain such a big gap on Alex then?
Most likely, Alex is on much newer medium tires. Let's see the exact number here. So 14 lap old mediums on Alex as opposed to 21 laps on Loris's tires. I can tell. I Like Trains and Jorkata, both of their ERS lights are flashing. They're doing everything they can to get past the slow Haas car in front of them, but nothing quite seems to be working, and as they exit the final corner, there's still a bit of a gap there. I Like Trains with DRS and a slipstream. Can he make anything work this time into turn 1? Gonna try around the outside of turn 1. Just can't quite make it work. Oh, a little bit of a switchback, though, from I Like Trains, and the Mercedes actually has a nose ahead now as they're heading down into turn 2. Still has DRS as I Like Trains, but Loris with the inside just cuts him off. Loris still keeping P2.
Bablo looking down the inside of Kimi, down into turn 1. I think they might have touched a bit. But Bablo gets past Kimi and up into 10th. I may have just caught that battle just in time.
Yep, sure did.
But I don't think Kimi will let him go easily.
I sure hope not.
Ooh.
I mean, Bablo does have a 6-second penalty. That position for Kimi is pretty much assured whether he passes him or not, but you always want to make the move on the track.
Yeah, it's better. Last lap, I've just realised.
That is true. I was watching
We're
the
on the last lap
group behind Lrc go through the final corner. Didn't realize that Alex had
of
already started the last lap. So
the Hungary Grand Prix. I think we all know who our race winner's going to be.
well, he could just completely crash. But
Well,
I'm sure
highly
he's going to
doubt
be
it.
driving on eggshells, so to speak, just to make sure he gets it home. I like Trains and Jorkata still not able to make any inroads on Lrc. Might be keeping that P2 for the moment.
Right then. Heading into the final little bit of Sector 2. And into Sector 3 goes our race leader. Round. Down towards the hairpin.
Yep, why don't we watch our race leader round the final
And
corner.
round the final corner he goes.
Crosses
And
the
Alex,
line, takes the
after
checkered
having
flag.
a lovely race indeed, is a Grand Prix winner in Hungary.
That indeed was a beautiful race, and right behind him, these three are all still fighting, but I think it's going to be Lrc who just keeps that second place from I Like Trains and Jorkata, so very good defense there from the Haas driver. Jarman crossing the line now in P5 with Hot Speed right behind him for 6th. Maxcon in a bit of a no man's land does a nice pirouette across the line in P7. Then comes Iggy's, and a little behind him, Bablo with a 6-second penalty that will relieve his 9th place to Kimi, who's crossing the line now. And Shadow, unfortunately, I don't think is going to be scoring a point. Although it's saying 10th now, so he might have been within some sort of gap. Driver of the day, Alex, for sure. No question about it.
It's got to be, doesn't it? 17 places he ended up gaining.
Kept it clean.
That was
great pace. That's a very well-deserved win.
First race, you're saying, from him. I would have loved to see the battle between him and Lamau know if he was racing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself. How much different would this race be if Lamau was here? But I think it's better that he wasn't in some way. Well, there we have it then. With the sprint race points, Lrc taking home more points than Alex, but I think the race win in your head just is worth more.
They were drawing.
Oh, yep, 26. Okay.